Hello, readers. Hello, everyone. It is Sunday. We're trying to kick this off earlier than usual, on a different day than usual. We will be discussing this evening Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. And that was a selection made by my husband, John.
That would be me.
So just as a reminder, we are going to just kind of go over initial thoughts, but then we are going to get really spoilerish. So if you haven't seen it and you care about spoilers, then go read it and then come back and then you can hear what we had to say about it.
Yeah, on the Goodreads forum.
There too.
I actually don't remember why I picked this one, but I'm glad that it was voted up by everybody. I really enjoyed this book.
Every time that you make a submission, your book wins.
Oh, like I picked this book out of your selections? Is that what that was?
No, I think I gave you 3 this time. Like you picked all 3.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember what your other pictures were.
Then they would win. If they were all my selections, then that would be a guaranteed win.
With your other ones that you've just given me one.
Because I picked good books.
You picked good books.
Or
apparently.
actually ones that look good, they weren't always good.
Mm-hmm.
How do you want to? Nevernight is basically about an orphan. Or early on, you find out that something happens to her family. You get to find out everything about that, so it's not like something that's not that big of a spoiler. And she vows to get revenge on the people involved with her father's death, and it was about starting that whole path.
You said you really enjoyed it.
I did.
Okay, so I would say this is like fantasy. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
There's 3 songs. That's why it's Nevernight.
I don't think this is. I mean, like from her age, she's like 16. So, but from the subject matter, it didn't seem YA. It seemed.
Yeah, it didn't seem YA, but
yeah.
So
yeah. So I don't know. I wouldn't put the YA stamp on this. There was a lot going on.
A lot of murder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not just that. There was a lot of other stuff too. Usually there's no sex in like YA stuff. Usually. They talk about it, but it's usually not really in there. So I liked it. I think that it makes me think of Star Wars in the sense where like I've watched all those Star Wars movies and I enjoy them. But if you were to ask me about the politics in Star Wars, I wouldn't be able to tell you who does what or how it works or anything like that. So I felt like, for me, a lot of it, I just kind of got lost with all the political stuff. And I felt like I read the whole thing never really knowing who the good guys and the bad guys were. Kind of how I felt.
Well, we didn't actually get the full story.
Right,
Unless I missed
something. 2 other books.
Tom, did you happen to catch the reason that her father was tagged as a?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. He.
Did we lose Tom?
Oh, Tom.
What?
Oh,
you froze for a second. I didn't know if that was a hiccup or.
Might be a little bit of a hiccup.
It looked like hiccups because he's all of a sudden dancing. He's like coaching.
I don't know if that's.
Are we okay now?
Yeah, you look better now.
Okay. Like I said, you're spot on with the Star Wars reference because that's exactly what's going on here, except that it's a reference back to, remember Julius Caesar, and he set himself up as the king essentially, and then they had Brutus and Cassius come in, and the senators murder him. It says, what if they repelled the plot, and the Republic still stood and got stronger? And her father was part of that Kingmaker Rebellion.
Okay.
That's why he was executed.
Yeah, that's another thing. I wasn't actually quite certain of the Kingmaker, the reason it was called that. Outside of it was just
they have like Star Wars. They have the Senate, and they hold the power. But I guess there was somebody who's like, "Oh, I'm going to be the one ruler," which Skava actually is, but not.
right,
He doesn't call himself that.
right. He just
Getting
kind
all
of
the
ended
powers
up with that power after
Yeah.
he had what he had done previously.
Right. So
Awesome.
the point being is the Republic is corrupt, and that's why the Kingmaker Rebellion wanted to say, let's get these corrupt people out, and but they
Right,
were
of course.
foiled, and that's the set. That's the setup.
I had tweeted earlier that I wanted a cat that is not a cat.
I want a not cat too. Shadow cat, whatever you want to call it. I mean, so to give you guys a little bit of reference on the not cat shadow cat, if you have not read the book, it's after her family is murdered and she's thrown off into exile. So they were told to kill her. She made it past the what do you call? They were Illuminatis or Illuminatis?
Illuminati.
Yeah.
Okay, so they were told to kill her. They were supposed to take her to a river. They put her in a barrel. In that barrel, I don't know how the cat ended up in the barrel with her, but the not cat is a creature that basically bound to her. It lived in her shadow, and it brought her mother's stiletto, dagger, the knife.
The grave bone dagger.
Yes. It gave that dagger to her in the barrel. So there's a little bit of confusion in how that ended up happening. But which I guess
I have a thought on that.
Okay.
The Shadow Cat seemed to appear just after Captain Puddles got killed.
Yes. No, I was really wanted that to be the incarnation of Puddles.
Because that's what it seems like.
I raged at how he described killing that cat. I was like, no!
He stopped just short of it.
Yeah.
I mean, the Shadow Cat is still her familiar.
Right.
You know?
Right. That's a great word for it, familiar.
Yeah.
But it was just so she uses that grave bone dagger to kill one of her assailants, and she gets away. She lives. Mm-hmm. So.
But so in this world, she's what they call a Darkin.
That's what I was told.
So is that not like an inherent thing? Is that not something she always had?
Well, they played it out as a chosen one, like she was chosen by the night goddess. Okay. Well, another way it's Nevernight. There's 3 suns circling this planet, but one turn is what they call it. One day out of the every 4 years, it's all suns, actually eclipse, and it's Nevernight. All right, it's true dark is what they call it. It's one night of darkness.
It's kind of like George Martin's Westeros. Now that I think about it, longer. They have like with Westeros, it's 10 years, like really long summers, really long winters. Here, it's really long sunlight, and there's that one chance of true dark every so often. So anyway, carry on.
Yeah, so I really liked that idea, and they actually used different terminology to explain a day would be a turn, because it's infinite day. It's all day. So one turn would be one turn of the sun, or one of the suns around the planet, and it's very interesting how he actually goes about the lighting differences while one sun is up and the other one is down, and I enjoyed everything. I was also quite intrigued about how that later on, whenever she gets to the church and what they're supposed to be doing, they're all doing it in the cover of darkness inside a mountain. Yeah. Like there's no light at all during their training, other than what they've created themselves. It's crazy.
Now I know that Alaska kind of don't they experience like 6 months of all day and 6 months of all night kind of thing?
Sort of, but yeah, that's the idea.
Wait, what did I just say? Did I say?
It's like 3 months where they actually have daylight.
But did I say
it's
Alaska?
all darkness. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. So my next question.
Yeah, under the midnight sun. Yeah, when you get so far above or below the.
So my next question was going to be: does Australia experience the same thing? Or they're not like?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay. Before we go further, since you mentioned Australia,
right.
It was a little disconcerting for me. It's like, God, this sounds like it's not American and it's not quite British.
Right. Yeah.
So what the hell is it? And then I read these in Australia. It's like, oh, now it all makes sense.
Yeah, there was like a few things in there, like just words that I don't know if I would figure out what they were.
Australian slang, like tossers.
When they were referring to marrowborns.
Yes.
Okay, so God's grave, right? Is that's the city that's actually built inside a dead creature of some sort. It's a very large creature, and I guess they considered it a god. Is that what that is?
I thought of it as a titan. Yeah. But
yeah. It was a giant, massive creature. Marrowborns are the people that are born amidst the rib cage, because
they live in the ribs, so they are truly
inside the rib cage of this creature. The city is built inside. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I just wanted to point out the cover because I really liked this cover. There's a couple of different versions of this cover, but this one's pretty cool because you can see her shadow wings, and like at first picking it up, I didn't really think anything of it, but
is the cat there somewhere?
Not in this one. I don't see the cat. No, it's just her shadow wings and the mask and stuff.
So it turns out she has powers over darkness.
Right.
The shadows.
Yeah. But the Marrowboro, there's the Dwemer, which the Dwemer, do you understand how the Dwemer were named? They were brought to an oracle, and she gave them a name based on what she saw in their life. That's the reason why I brought up Wave Drinker. The one that was given the name Wave Drinker ended up drowning in his life.
Oh,
Cuddle Giver. And Barrett Cuddle Giver. Later on in the
Cuddle Giver.
A map.
Yeah.
That was a great joke.
Yeah, the Marrowborn are actually the patricians in this society compared to Roman society, and the plebes are, the have-nots essentially. So Mia goes from being a patrician to a plebe, essentially.
What was it that they were calling the instructor?
Shahid.
Yeah, I looked that up, and it said that it was a Muslim word.
Oh yeah, it sounds like one. I didn't look it up though. It's a cool word though. For
witness, but also
teacher or master?
No, also for martyr.
Martyr.
Yeah, like a martyr that sacrifices itself for like religious.
So they're giving themselves to the church.
Right. I just thought that was kind of weird. I don't know if it's like maybe a similar word in a different language also.
Possibly, but
yeah. Like it just seemed kind of random. I don't think I noticed any other.
He made up a lot of things. It's okay. It's a book.
And a lot of things he didn't. He just took it from like Roman society, and which is totally fine.
Yeah.
Which he's working on the third book right now, and he just went back to Venice. He went back to Italy.
I'm actually excited for book 2. This is probably the first book that when I'm listening to it and it ended, I was like, no, there's more. We need more. More info. There's more to learn. There's more holes in the film.
Those 20 hours?
Is that how long it was?
Yes, this is a 20-hour book.
It went by that. I finished it in like a week and a half.
So people have compared it to Harry Potter, because it's
I can see it. Okay.
Because you
go to school, you learn from different masters who know different things.
Yeah, My what did I want here? Summary of this book is Mia goes to mean Hogwarts.
Right. Well,
Um,
assassins.
yeah.
Hogwarts of assassins.
Yep.
But I don't, unless I missed it, it didn't seem like they really separated them. You know how, like, in Hogwarts, they have the 4 different. Did I miss it? Were they like? Were they given like different titles?
They weren't.
No, they didn't have
there
houses.
weren't enough students for them to be in houses.
Yeah.
No, but like with Mia being a Darkin, like they could have had other
Darkins. Yeah. I mean that would
one.
actually
right.
Her and Lord Cassius, you know.
Yeah, part of her story is her trying to learn about herself. If there was more of them around them, then it'd be too easy to learn more about, you know, what she is and what she can do. Yeah, I was upset.
But she got no answers.
Cassius too.
Well, no, he has 3 books to fill, so you know, don't do it
Right,
now.
exactly. It definitely left it open for the next book. A lot of answers, and
He is certainly not. He doesn't shy from giving you information, like all those freaking footnotes.
There are a decent amount of footnotes, but
I mean, some of them were good, but
yeah, I really enjoyed some of them.
Stop the action.
Yep.
Sometimes they were like half a page long. The footnotes.
Yeah, I mean they're good, but like I said, sometimes like, and then you know she drew her dagger and she plunged it into. Oh, and here's a footnote.
I mean, like,
let's talk about the Gravegum dagger she has in her hand.
Yeah.
If you're listening to it, then obviously they're gonna like stick the footnote right in the middle of the action.
It's in the specific part where.
But if you're reading it, then you could probably finish the scene and then go back to the footnote.
I didn't care.
Well, yeah, if you were just reading it, that's the way you would do it. But
when she first started reading it, she started it before I did, and she was like, "It's confusing. There's italics for one part. There's there's no like definition behind it." And I was like, when I listened to it, I didn't have a problem with that. I did not have a problem at all. Like you can use the context clues to tell where you're at in the story.
Yeah. And if you watch Arrow at all, that's what they did for like the first 4 freaking seasons. Like part of it would be flashback and part of it would be current day.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What else I want to say? So, who was your favorite character? Mine was Trick.
What?
I said mine was Trick.
Well, yours was Trick. That was your favorite character. Yeah. He was a cool character, but I didn't feel like it was enough to him. No, I like Mia. I like the idea of having that the shadow cat or it's kind of like a conscience on your shoulder type bit.
Right.
And at least the cat would try to be witty. It was witty. It was humor. There's like stark humor to it. It was just, and if you didn't get it, you didn't get it.
I didn't really love the narrator, because I felt like some people should have had different voices. I guess even the cat. Like the cat was so like. The
like
cat
a shadow whispering in your ear.
Yeah, but I feel like he could have had more personality with the cat.
Well, it had plenty of personality. You just didn't see it.
I didn't know. But with Mia, like she's just so broken. She's so broken, and like towards the end when she was fighting with Trick, obviously she had motives for the way she was behaving, but I don't think what she did was cool. Like I was just like, really?
I mean, yeah, it wasn't cool, but it was necessary.
I mean, whatever.
Wait, I'm missing something here. What's your
all that easily? Well, when she near the end, I don't want to think of
like it's not like the end, but like when they were kind of doing the last of the trials that they were trying to do, and she had
the trial of songs,
and she ended up like fighting him, and he won. But like she just said, she said, well, yeah, she said really hurtful things to him.
Well, she didn't want him to like go easy on her,
right?
Yeah. So there's a reason behind it. She wasn't just doing it, you know.
I know, but he obviously cared the whole time. And she was just kind of like, oh, just stop. Just stop.
Well, they both knew that it was a bad idea to be doing what they were doing. She just put a stop to it in the most abrupt and asshole-ish way, I guess.
Well, that was the point that I was trying to make.
Well, yeah, but how else was she going to do it? She's been saying all along, no, it's not love. It's not love. We're just hanging out, friends with benefits, sort of thing. And he's getting all attached and stuff. And it's like, all right. So she didn't lie to him. She didn't lead him on. She just said, this is what it is. And then, if he's getting attached. Now, if she is and not letting on.
Well, maybe I got attached to him.
Okay, maybe you got attached. So.
And that note that was slid under the door, I knew it wasn't true. That's not how.
Oh, yeah.
That's not how he does.
I was like, oh, come on, really?
Yeah, exactly. That's not. No. No. I'm just glad that she saw through it.
Oh, I didn't. I bought it.
Well, I saw it's like, there's no way she's going to fall for this. I hope not. If she does, I am throwing this book away.
Wait, hold on.
My Kindle.
You said there's no way that what?
There's no way that she's going to fall for this. If she does, that just like undermines totally her. She should not be there if she does.
Right.
So is that the part that you said was really predictable?
No, that was not the.
That wasn't predictable at all.
And finally, that wasn't the most bullshit part of it. The bullshit part of it was when she was out in the desert and her wagon. She just had her wagon upended, and she's like in the sand, in the sun.
Yeah.
And who comes by but Bastard?
Right.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Right. Well, that was where they released him. That was where they sent him off. That's where he ran off.
I don't think so. It's like the whole wide desert.
Right.
He just happens to be there at that particular time.
Yeah. And he probably wouldn't have helped her.
Yeah.
He hated her. It was like,
yeah.
Screw you.
He like
We've been here every chance he got.
Saw her or anything. Yeah. So that's why I said that's bullshit.
There were a few moments where I was like, yes, because I didn't see it coming, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. Okay, cool. It's just I didn't see the treachery coming within the church. I didn't see.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, that was good.
And then during I think it was one of the trials. I don't know if it wasn't Mouser's trial. It was during the trial of songs when everybody was like, "Oh, he got the antidote for the poison. He got the antidote for the poison." Blah blah blah. Right. And then I was like, "Oh, she spun it. That makes sense now." But they did explain why it took so long for it to take effect, for the poison to actually take effect, because of the antidote was almost done, but it was close. Perfect.
Yeah, it was close enough to the real thing that like you said, the test mice were still alive.
Yeah.
When you looked at them, and then it must be okay to take, and blah, you know.
But it just worked out perfectly for the timing, so it was just like, I get it, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as like the trials go, I mean, I get, because Mercurio had been telling her, they're going to make you do stuff. It's like great when you're trying to get revenge on people, but they're going to make you do stuff that you're going to have to do, and it's going to be hard. Obviously it worked out with her not being able to kill that innocent boy. But I really just wanted that to be like just a test. I didn't want her to have to.
Remember, your lovely trick did.
But he came out like I can't believe it's
he was shaken by it, but he did it.
He did it. Did it.
Well, clearly I could never be an assassin. Just never happened. I'm more of a superhero. I can't hurt people.
But no, it also remind you a lot of Arya's storyline in Game of Thrones. How she's going to be the faceless one,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I felt a little bit of that too.
Girl
Like,
becoming no one,
That's
you
all
know.
that.
And
Yep.
then you have to wonder, you know, if you're part of this collective body, and they say, okay, you do this, and you have to obey without question, then you know, obviously your individuality and your values become subservient to that collective.
Right.
So,
Well, you belong to the Red Church now.
yeah, you're essentially their tool.
Mhm.
Like you are the tip of the spear, so to speak.
now, who's the mob versus like the mother of murders? Is that two different things
What?
for the same
The
thing?
maw, like when her,
Oh, no, that's two different
her
things.
tied to the
Okay.
maw.
Yeah, the Ma, I understand, is another word for Naya or Nia. I can't remember how they pronounced it.
But Naya was the goddess, right?
Yeah, Naya is the goddess of the dark.
Right. So it is the same thing.
Oh,
Yeah, it's the same
okay.
thing. Yeah.
All right. So just different ways of.
Well, if you look at the actual word itself, the maw is like something that's ever consuming, and
Right.
The goddess of night, the darkness. It's all about you're doing murder for her. You know, she consumes the life, the bodies.
Yeah, she's essentially the entropy that you know in the universe. You know, it consumes all things, and she makes various references to Naya, and the Maw as being ever hungry, and she feels that within inside her as well as a Darken.
That's why it was said that the Darken was the chosen of Naya.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's part of the mythology, I guess. Ah, Aa is the god of the sun, and Naya is the god of the dark, goddess of the dark, and they were married, obviously, and they had a falling out, and he
Okay, I
got
was
kicked
like, are
her.
they married but they hated each other? I didn't get that part.
Yeah,
Always the
and
case in any of the gods in the mythology from almost any
yes,
culture. There's always a quarreling couple that just
yes,
hate each other now.
and typical patriarchal theology here. You know, the man wins, and Naya's pretty much banished to that one day every 3 or 4 years. So,
Oh, but she uses it wisely.
but yes. So, but I thought that was interesting. Speaking of that, how they had the oh, what the hell was it called? The way darkened powers work. You know, she's empowered when she's in darkness, but Jessamine and Ashlyn had that
The Blessed Trinity, yeah.
the Blessed Trinity, yeah, as proof against that. So there's belief going on either side here. You know, and I thought because when I was reading, it's like, oh, she's gonna be tops of all the houses, and go on, But no, I'm glad it didn't. That didn't happen.
Right.
Yeah.
But I like all the symbolism and everything. The Illuminati, the fire swords, and then all the symbolism in the black church or the red church whenever everything was dark. How they moved through blood and nature.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I like that. Who was it?
The speaker.
I can't think of the name. The blood speaker and his sister. I can't think of their names off the top of my head. Yeah, but they were an interesting pair.
Maribel one of them? Is that the...
I mean, close, but Adonai.
Adonai, yeah, Speaker Adonai, and what was his sister's name?
I don't remember.
Marielle.
Is it Marielle?
Yeah, I thought it was Maribel. But yeah. But I thought that was interesting how she encounters God, again, I can't remember the name. The woman in the sand. The one that Neve, yeah. Neve, I don't know, Neve. And it took me a while to figure out that Marielle was the one that disfigured her face.
Yeah.
Because she was in love with Adonai.
Right.
Yeah.
They're twins, so they have that twin bond, the jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
Brother love, sister love. How they explained it. It's not. It was kind of. Ooh, I got some.
It's creepy anyway. You think about it, yeah. So yeah, nothing as good is going to come of that. But what was I going to say? There's something else. Oh, right at the end of the book, toward the end of the book, or almost at the end, when Lord Cassius dies, Eclipse goes with Mia.
Yeah.
That was really surprising to me.
I was like, oh no, how are you gonna freaking talk? Because their
I didn't want him to go anywhere.
Their familiars actually were at each other's throats all the time. Because
Yeah.
Cat.
I mean, it sounds like they're gonna be anyway because they were still.
Right. Well, I want to know is if she picks up another one in the next book. Like if she starts a collection of these shadow.
Then that gets a bit ridiculous.
It's gonna be like.
This is like Noah's Ark. No, that's
fucking Pokemon. Oh god.
Yeah, it's not like goddamn Pokemon. It's not Pokemon at all. But no, I could see where she meets like Darkened mentor, and Eclipse goes with the mentor.
Right. Okay. Well, that's assuming that they don't have a Darkened Eagle or something already on his shoulder. But
Yeah.
I mean, Eclipse was with Cassius for I guess that happens for the majority of their life. So the fact that she was bound to him, and I was actually surprised to find out that she stayed with Mia.
Mm-hmm. It's also true that they ask Familiar, do you want to walk with me? And the Familiar assents and goes with them, or does not.
Right.
So if they didn't, I wonder what would happen to them. Then would they just become a shade again?
I assumed when Cassius died, I thought that the wolf was just going to disappear. Like it said that he howled, and I just in my head, I just picture her just vanishing in her howl.
So, yeah, I thought that was interesting the way that worked out. And then the other question I had, which doesn't mean anything in terms of the novel, if Cassius got him when he was young, was Eclipse a wolf pup, and did she grow with him as he grew?
That's a good question.
Right, that's what I was thinking too.
Because we don't know much about the Not Cat either, outside of we think it was Captain Puddles.
Yeah, Captain Puddles. I have to think that's this. It's not Captain Puddles. It's the spirit of.
Right. I did too. It's okay, Tom. I wanted it to be Puddles too.
So
I was like, no, you better. I was like, Mr. Kindly, really? Come on.
Yeah, it's like the Star Kid children, Shaggy Dog. It's like same kind of idea.
I mean, I knew a child named him, but he could have been like, no, I'm Puddles, and I would have been happy. I mean, at least he had that name before, a younger child named Puddles. But Mr. Kindly for a cat, for like a shadow cat creature Familiar, that seems like a very fun name. I'm sorry, Jay, I just didn't like it.
Just didn't jive with that. Speaking of names, I picked up a few I think are references anyway.
Right.
In the book, let me just tick them off here. Lord Cassius. Cassius, in actuality, was the spiritual leader of the revolt that killed Julius Caesar in real life. So that was an interesting twist. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see what else we have here. Revered Mother Drusilla. In Roman times, back around the Julius Caesar area, there's Livia Drusilla, who was a notorious poisoner. So I have to think that's the tip of the hat to her. Now, I just read I Am Livia, which says, I totally didn't do all those things I'm accused of. But that's not a story entirely. What else do I have here? Shahid Mouser. I think is a reference to, have you ever read Fritz Lieber's Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser series? He's the Grey Mouser is a master thief, and he always dresses in gray. And they note in the book here, he has a lot of gray, like the priest vestments are gray. He has a lot of those for some reason. I thought that was pretty cool. And what else did I get from here?
I liked the fact that the Shahid of Songs, what was his name?
Solus.
The fact that he was blind.
Yeah.
And that he was one of the most badass killed like fighters in
And let's see, what's the last one I have here? Oh, Speaking of Shahid Solis, this is it. Shahid Solis tells the acolytes they will begin with, quote, a refresher on Montoya's dual hand forms. And of course, Inigo Montoya! It was like, brilliant! So.
No, that's good. I like that. That's awesome.
So I have to think there's more that I missed, but
Dual hands. No, I'm pretty sure there's a lot.
there's a reference. I'm sure that's a reference to when Montoya and the Dread Pirate Robbers are fighting on the Cliffs of Despair, and they're talking about fencing. They're going through all these different things, and that was good. That was really good.
The fact that I lost it. There was something else I wanted to bring up right there. Oh, that Jay in the Illuminate series, that he's responsible for throwing in a lot of nods to other works in that as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So.
Because it was Jay Kristoff and who?
Amy Kaufman.
Amy Kaufman. That's right.
Yeah. Yes, I won the book in the giveaway, so I'll have to read that at some point.
Yes, you're gonna read it. Yes.
Yes, eventually. So I want to get a chance.
It's a good format. I like it, but it's really good.
I think they're working on a new series together. I'm not sure where it's going to take place or what it's going to be about or anything, but they are working together again. I think they made a good rating couple.
Yeah. So, what do we give these?
I'm
excited to read the next one, and that doesn't really happen that often. So I'm gonna stick to the 5. I enjoyed this one a lot, and there aren't many books that I would read again, and I would actually probably go through this one again, just to pick up the nuances, the things that I missed going through it the first time.
I feel like I would have to really get a sense of the politics of it.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I really didn't put piece together in my mind. Weirdly enough, the only other book that I decided to go through a second time was The Gunslinger. I don't know.
That's a bit more. That is a bit more opaque than this one is.
Yeah, a little bit. But
a little.
I listened to the second book with my dad. So, but I think this is also one of the ones that I would actually be like, "Hey, Dad, check this out." Because
do you think your dad would like it?
Oh, hell yeah, Dad would love this.
I think I'll wait on Godsgrave until we're closer to the release of the third, Dark Dawn.
Is that the name of the second one, Godsgrave?
Yeah.
Godsgrave, yeah.
Okay.
Godsgrave, yeah, and then Dark Dawn is the third.
All right.
Cool covers for both of them.
That means I know it's going in my Audible next week.
So there's alternate covers, like I mentioned. You know, this one's the paperback, so it has like the American paperback, I think. So it has Mia on it. But I think the hardcover had like a picture of a crow on it, a raven or a crow.
I thought that was what was on the second book.
No, the second book I guess has the wolf.
Oh, okay.
Let me see if I could just so that you can see it. I'll pull it up.
I didn't know. I don't remember the wolf, which is probably possibly there, but there's also her wings are thicker in the second one.
Oh yeah, I do see that. I mean, she looks darker overall.
Right.
Oh. She's a little bit more grown up. She's angrier.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, well, that brings up a good point. You know, for these books, is she going to just be like Kratos? You know, and just like, I'm angry. You know, there has to be more to it than that.
She's definitely got a cooler power than Kratos. I don't like that cover.
Well, it matches this one.
Oh.
So you see, like.
Yeah. I like the paperbacks better though.
Oh, yeah, that was one of the good revelations in the book. How she reveals through her dreams that she's responsible for the True Dark Massacre.
Yeah. She blacked out. Literally blacked out and then just
destroyed. Now, I was thinking, it's like, she said, I did all that and I still failed. It's like, well, maybe you shouldn't have torn down the statue of Ah first and just gone right for Scott, and then you would have had him.
Okay, but is that not the wolf? I assume.
Yeah.
Like they would like pair together the cat with the wolf.
And a bird. Look, there's a freaking bird. I called it.
Yeah, but the raven is on the first one, so I was trying to figure out.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the raven. Is this the sign of her family?
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes.
I was wondering what
the family crest.
It's a crow.
Is that why she has wings?
Crow.
Sure.
Shadow wings.
Crow. Sure.
Crow. Yes, crow. Remember, Mercurio was calling her Little Crow.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's actually on the Great Bone Dagger.
Yep.
Right.
What was the third piece that showed up on? Someone else had some. Oh, her father's sword.
Yes. That the Zurian had.
Justicus had it, right?
Justicus, yes.
So does that mean she has that sword now too?
That would be the implication. I mean, if you look at book 2. See, she has it on her.
Well,
I would imagine the answer is yes.
Blades.
Yeah.
Are they two separate? Are they two different blades?
I mean,
no, they look
identical.
The same. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a difference between a stiletto and a sword. So I would imagine. You should have been on. Jay, your artist. Should have had the bone dagger in one hand and his sword in another.
Yep. Well, I thought that was interesting, her choice of weapons when she fought Jessamine. Jessamine does the rapier and dagger. Well, she had two gladii, the two short swords that the Roman soldiers would use.
Okay, so
those are pretty heavy.
Right there. Okay. Is she wearing a mask?
Yeah, but she's wearing a mask in the first one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Harlequin mask, like they wore at the ball. Okay. Yeah, and I thought they're gonna shit on them there too. It's like, Jesus Christ, they can't get a freaking break. You go out and try to party, and we're gonna take you in.
Oh yeah, they did. Yep.
Yeah.
That they did. They pooped on them at every turn.
Yep.
It was all tests. All tests.
Mm-hmm. I did like the explanation for Ashlyn though. That was logical. That she would know that she would know that was actually a test, so she didn't have to worry.
Well, the whole story arc with Ashlyn actually worked really well.
Yes, because for me she was the most likable character, and then she turns around.
Yeah, and then she's not.
Yep.
I also liked the callback to the Kraken whenever they were running.
Yes.
I was like, yeah.
Well, I thought that was cool. Like when the first time, because she didn't realize that her drawing the shadows was calling the Kraken.
And when she put on the shadow cloak, she was like, "Wait, they see me?"
Yeah. So you're the one who called them.
Yeah, exactly.
Ding 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 ding, dinner. So I thought that was really cool. She's discovering what she can do rather than
I would also like to know a little bit more about the story of the Krakens themselves and the reasoning that they're called by the darkness and why they think that the beating of the gong drives them away.
Right.
Because they said on multiple occasions that they were using those gongs as the song to drive off the Krakens, but every time that was mentioned, they also said we're not sure if it works.
Well, Mia's the one who basically says that a lot. That bullshit's not working.
Yeah.
I have a headache. Stop it.
So I'm looking at the third cover. And so the third book is called Dark Dawn. And there's a shadow behind her. And in the shadow, you can see the wolf, the cat, and a snake.
The crow. There's two cats. There's one on their shoulder and one in the shadow. The one on their shoulder only has one eye.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Do you see the alternate covers though for these, like God's Grave and such? They show the wolf and the crow and.
Yeah. But and she's also in the. So I assume this is God's Grave again with the rib cage.
Yep. You see the sword?
Yeah, the sword's got like a dove on it.
I think that's just a white
crow.
Yeah.
The fact that she can have more than one familiar tells me they can do like Wonder Twin powers and combine all of them into one huge shadow. You watch. That's my prediction.
They just ruined it, right? It was like, oh, there's a snake there now. Right. I think because the sword and stiletto, they're all made out of grave bone. They're all made from bone, so that's the reason why that's white.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm very curious because it was my understanding that the cat didn't have eyes.
Right. So how's it only got one eye right there?
Why has it got one red eye?
Well, I don't think that's the same cat. Because there's another cat right there.
Are you saying this is a cat?
That's a fucking cat.
That's not a cat. That's just shapes. I don't think that's a cat.
Well, they are. Well, it takes the shadow. The shadow does take the form of a cat, but it is actually just a shadow. So.
I don't think that's a cat though.
Unless it's a freaking llama that's looking at you funny. Because it's got
that
like
would be awesome. I'm familiar.
Mr. Kindly would have to take a more prominent spot because look, the crow and the cat are right here. This is like that's nonsense.
Well.
All right, we'll see.
Look it up, Tom. Look at this book cover, Dark Dawn.
Hold on, I'll show you.
All right, yeah. Send me a link.
Look under the word Chronicle. There's definitely a freaking cat there. I say there's a cat there.
Right, I put it in there.
Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, just over her left, our right.
Well, there's a cat on her shoulder with the red eye, and then above that, there's a cat face.
Yeah, he's saying there's a cat face above that, and I don't think that's accurate.
She could actually have a live cat too. I mean, she's collecting all these animals. You know?
You got something in common with her.
And I'm wondering what this helmet is all about. Her hands are always bloody.
Mm-hmm. You know she's like an assassin and a murderer.
But that's the other thing that I noticed in this book, which I thought was a cool thing. He doesn't exactly come out and say it, but he leads you to believe that, you know, if Trick and Mia weren't so consumed by revenge, that they could live a happy life together outside of the church and just be live together and so that's not who they are.
I still like the fact that she kind of she held her promise that if that both of them didn't make it through, or that she would actually take.
Yeah, that was a cool part of the epilogue. Yeah.
Yeah. So why was he named Swordbreaker?
You can tell us.
No, he actually broke people, like inside and out. Like he was the leader of their clan, and he was the best warrior.
Oh, that reminds me, and I must have missed this. But who? Well, I know Ashlyn won Shahid Aaliyah's contest. What was the secret that won it? Did they ever mention?
Oh, I didn't think they did. I don't remember hearing that.
I do recall that she had mentioned it was from one of the Illuminati that she had found on one of the things, but nobody ever said what the secret was. But I think there was 2 or 3 instances where they had mentioned that they hold the best secrets.
Right. Okay. Because I thought, oh, the secret is we're going to overthrow you and kill you. Surprise!
So who was it that actually killed Lottie? Was it her brother?
Lotta?
Yeah.
Osric, I thought.
Was it?
Wait. Osric? It was one.
I didn't know if Ashlyn did it or if her brother did it. But there was once where she said no.
Osric did the first one. The first one that died.
Oh, that's right. He did.
And then she did the second, I thought.
Okay. The first droid Mary boy that went missing.
Yeah, the one that was giving the Trick a hard time.
Right.
Because he had seen him. Yeah. So. It was something like that. I can't remember which one was
what was
which.
his name?
Who?
The one that they killed.
I don't recall offhand.
Yeah. It wasn't that.
There's so many characters in this book. It's hard to, and it's been about two weeks or so since I finished it. So it's like
I was certain that it actually made a call to how he died.
Yeah, I think that was Osric that did that.
All right, so John, you said you give it a 5. I think I would give it a 4. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I agree.
I also
4.
like the nicknames Pale Daughter.
Yes.
Oh, Flood Caller.
Yeah, Flood Caller, yeah.
So it really didn't. I was thinking of somebody else, I guess.
Mm. Yeah, it was something along the lines of, I think for the first one, that Flood Caller had seen him out, one of them out, and so he had to be dropped. I can't remember. I think it was Osric who did it, but I'm not sure.
No, it was Osric.
Yeah.
She was right. Because somebody had a conversation about it after the fact. And, it was us hearing Ashlyn and Osric having that conversation. Well, I had to get rid of him because he saw me out.
Right. So.
I'm glad that the writing shifted a little bit.
I would do that too.
In the beginning, it was just, especially the way the narrator was reading it, it was a little tough.
How did you feel about him personifying feelings and then stabbing them?
Well, there you have it.
What?
I said, well, there you have it. Yeah. What more can you say?
I put my anger welled up inside me, and then I stuffed it back down like a back alley, just like I crushed it and.
Well, if you read the reviews of the book, they do review it in that style. So
that's
some
cool.
of them do. Yeah. So as a parody.
Well, yeah, eventually stopped doing that so much. But there was some more of that. I think the better stuff was further along in the book.
Yes.
But when I first started hearing them, I'm like, really? Is that how you want? Is that how you want to quell that? I guess it works.
I think for me, and this is true of when I watch Coen Brothers movies, but that's beside the point. There's a disconnect between what's going on screen and the tone that it's trying to strive for, in the sense that in the actions of the book are horrific, like when Mia is in the barrel and whatnot, and they'll have these funny asides in the footnotes. It's like, well, I'm not sure what tone you're trying to go for here.
Right.
Well.
Yeah, you're right. There was a couple times where the footnote kind of threw things off a little bit.
Because it reminded me of Good Omens in the sense that it had a crap ton of, but at least there. It was ridiculousness in the story and ridiculousness in the footnote. So yeah, I got that, but here it was a little bit more opaque to me. So
I get it.
What did you give it, Tom?
I gave it a 4. Yeah, 4.
I said I agreed with you.
Yeah, like I said, I would read the next one, like I said. But if he has more, I don't like the collection of shadow familiars, but okay. But if he has more bullshit like Bastard coming in, it's like, oh, we need to get me into was it last whatever it was, the town. So and I know why he did it, but it's just like, oh, come on.
Right. I mean,
you wrote yourself into a corner, and this is how you're getting yourself out.
Yeah. It made sense, and I understood there was an emotional attachment there that wasn't really supposed to be there, but it worked.
Yeah.
Begrudgingly.
It moved the plot along, which
like, oh,
okay.
Really?
Yeah. And actually she died, the end, We wouldn't have the other 2 books. So
So a 5, a 4, and a 4. So it was pretty good. And it sounds like we're all going to be continuing the series.
Yep.
The book that we are reading this month is Holy Cow by David Duchovny.
Yes. Who is the narrator of the audiobook?
Didn't he?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was a
he's
question.
he's the narrator of the audiobook, which is kind of disconcerting because the protagonist is female, being a cow.
Right.
So.
Well, this Nevernight was narrated by a dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
and Mia wasn't the.
It was the main character. It was like it wasn't first person.
Oh, is that where the? I guess.
Yeah. Nevernight was more third person, so there's a bit of a distance there.
Okay. So. Fine.
I'm not sure I know what a Holy Cow is about. I picked it up at Barnes & Noble though because it was on sale. So, what's the summary, Tom?
What?
Oh,
you expect to know what it's about.
Well, you started reading it. I thought you'd know.
I read the first chapter, and apparently there's an event that happens, and a lot of the first chapter is like making jokes about cow jokes and whatnot. But let me see what the blurb has here.
Sugar Bear popped in and waved.
Hi, Sugar Bear.
Hi, Sugar Bear. We're just finishing up and talking about the next one.
Wow, this is long. I'll just read the first paragraph. Elsie Beaufry is a cow, and a pretty happy one at that. Her long, lazy days are spent eating, napping, and chatting with her best friend Mallory. One night, Elsie and Mallory sneak out of their pasture, but while Mallory is interested in flirting with the neighboring bulls, Elsie finds herself drawn to the farmhouse. Through the window, she sees the farmer's family gathered about a bright box god, and what the box god reveals about something called an industrial meat farm shakes Elsie's understanding of her world to its core. So...
Oh no!
Interesting.
Coincidentally, yes, we were watching a story about industrial meat farms, and
I actually decided to open up Oddworld the other day.
Abe's Odyssey?
Yeah.
What?
Nice.
It's about him escaping a meat factory that's about to chop him up.
Yep.
I
played that game.
The original? No, it's actually a remastered version on the Xbox One.
What's it called though?
It's Abe's Odyssey. Mm. It's amazing.
What? I'm gonna have to try playing it again. My brother loves that game. So as a reminder, if you'd like to join us on camera and get a chance to vote for you can vote for the books regardless. But if you want to be able to submit options for the books that we vote for and get a free custom bookmark and be entered in monthly giveaways, then you can sign up to be a book club VIP on patreon.com/Libri Labra. So thanks guys for joining us tonight for our Nevernight chat. And maybe you can pick up Holy Cow and join us for that discussion towards the end of the month. Guys, thanks for stopping by, Sugar Bear.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys. Have a good Sunday. Bye.
Fire away.
Bye, guys.
I think I found my mouse.